Hey everyone, this is Kevin with Divinely Design, and I have a card making related video. One of my subscribers asked me about how I do stamp and die cut storage, so I thought I would do a quick video on that. I'm a subscriber to the Jennifer McGuire kind of system, or inspired by it perhaps, I guess. I don't use the same containers that she does, but I kind of do a very similar approach to it. These containers I use are called Real Boxes, and they're from the Container Store. And they're a great size. They're about 7¼ inches tall by just about 6 inches wide. They are great for storing stamps and die cuts. I have them both in here. I store my stamp packets on a board, and then, let's see if I can pull one out here, label the board with the title of the company and then the name of the stamp set, and then place the stamp directly on the board itself. Now, these boards are really great because these actually have a coating on one side that is smooth, and if you have some of those sticky stamps, they will actually stick right on the board. Now, other stamps don't do that, and so for those, like this Altenew one here, I actually stick the backing onto the board itself with some tape runner, and then just have the stamps adhere right to them. Now, these boards I cut down myself, and they are 7½ by 5½, and they fit in this box perfectly then. But where I actually got them from is, before I was a crafter, I was a comic book collector. So when I started doing stamp storage, I actually had a bunch of these around, which I then ran out of, but they worked so well, I just kept buying them. So these are actually comic book storage boards. They come 100 to a pack. They are archival. Now they're 6¾ by 10½, which is obviously too big for this box itself. So I do hand cut them down. Now, I haven't done what Jennifer McGuire suggests, which is just take them to like Kinko's or Staples and have them cut a whole bunch at once. I just do it by hand. You know, and I usually do, I don't know, 20 or 30 at a time, so I kind of have some available. When I get a new stamp set, then I grab one of my cards, put it on, label it with the label maker, and just put it in my box so I don't sort of get backed up. And I have gotten backed up with, you know, 20 or 30 stamp sets that I haven't archived yet. But so these are the comic book boards themselves, which the stamp sets go on. And then, sort of keeping with that theme, I use comic book bags to actually put them in as well. So again, these are a little too big. They're 7⅛ by 10¾ So I cut some of the tops off so that they will fit, so they're not too long. I don't do anything with the width though. So this is one of them that's cut down. I just use my trimmer to actually trim it. It's probably hard to see, but and then what I do is I just put the stamp set in here, and you can see I have a little excess that's off to the side here. But all I do is I wrap it around to the back, and then I put a piece of tape on the back to hold it together. So the good thing I like about that is that for stamps that are kind of dimensional, you can give a little bit of room in here and tape it to whatever size you need. So here's an example. I just tape the back of it, and then it stays in place nice and tight like that. So I do hand cut kind of everything by myself. You know, so I store everything on that size of board, on this size right here. Even my big stamp sets, I will kind of cut down. I don't know if I have a big one here. I will try to rearrange them, and sometimes I'll put them kind of in the back pocket as well. I don't think I have one. Oh, wait, maybe this one. No. Let me show you an example. So this was a wedding sentiment stamp set by Fiskars. It's called Just Married Quotes. But it had lots of quotes on it. So I just take my scissors and I kind of chop them up and, you know, puzzle piece them here. So I have some on the front and then some on the back, so I can keep them all in one envelope. I haven't really bought any that are super big that don't fit in here. I mean, I can almost always just cut them up and they work okay. I did buy some longer ones recently. Let's see. I think this is my longest one. This is the Plaid Builder set from Paper Tree Ink. So I haven't even look to see if this will fit. But yeah, that'll still fit, even though it's a little long. As long as it doesn't go above the top of my dividers here, because I have a cabinet that I have shelving in that you know is adjustable. So I've adjusted my shelving so it fits. It just goes over the top of these, so I can slide them in perfectly. But this is really the highest I can go. Now I could always adjust the shelving, but again, I haven't really found the need to do that. This is a new stamp set of mine I haven't even used yet, but you can see it's really long packaging, like that would never fit. But what I'm going to do is just, you know, simply put these side by side. I'll put them, you know, a couple of them here, and then however many I can fit on one side, and then I'll put the others in the back. And that way I can fit this whole stamp set on this card here. So that's how I do stamps, and I put all of my stamps in bags. If they have matching dies, what I do is I put this little banner on the front of it so that I know that this stamp set has matching dies that go with it, and then the dies get stored in this envelope as well. So I always know where to find them, sort of. And it's really convenient to be able to sort of, I know, like, I'm looking for an animal punch and I want a coordinating die. I can immediately see the ones in my stamp sets here that have associated dies with them. So that's the stamp side of things. The dies are very similar. So I store them on those cards as well. Same size of the card. The only thing is I put this magnet in the middle of them. I don't use bags for my dies, and then I just put the metal die right on the magnet here. Now that's a small one. Some of them are bigger, obviously, but they fit quite a bit. So this is Lawn Fawn's Louis ABCs, and in this case, I used a full sheet for it. But for most of the dies I get, I really only need half a sheet. And that seems to work really well. And then I can save on using the sheets themselves. These are the magnetic sheets. I get them from a place called Stamp and Storage, and they have a cardboard backing on them. So I just take my tape runner, my big tape gun, and I put tape on them, and then adhere that to the thing itself. If I need a full sheet, I'll do a full sheet. If not, I put this on my paper trimmer and just put the cardboard side down and cut it directly in half, and then glue that half piece of magnet to the board, and that works really well. Even dies that are kind of big. Let's see here, or that kind of go off the edge. Like here's a border die from Paper Smooches. Now they're longer than this magnet, but they're not going to fall off. I mean, as long as the majority of them is on the magnet itself. So this works really well. Then I don't need bags at all. I've never had any of my dies fall off. They just sort of stay exactly where I need them to. And I use the Brother P-Touch label maker as well to label, again, my dividers, the name of the company, and then the name of the die or whatever the identifying thing is for the die. And then I label my boxes as well. These all sort of fit next to each other. In my cabinet, I have a shelf. I have 3 stamp boxes right now, and I have 2 die boxes, but I have additional ones if I need to sort of expand at some point. I can. And I'll put a link down below for the Stampin' Storage magnets where I get them. I forget how much I pay for a bundle of them. They're not super expensive. The comic book bags are fairly cheap. It's 100 of them for $6. And they're a little bit of work, though. So, I mean, you have to sort of cut them and then tape them. So if you're not really into that, that's probably not a good option. And I like my comic book boards. I think they work really well. Again, some stamps will stick right to them. Again, I do have to cut them down manually, so that does take time. But it hasn't been that big of a deal for me, so... okay, that's it. Comments, questions, leave them below. Tell me how you like to store your stamps and your dies. How do you do it for your crafty room? Okay, that's it. This is Kevin from Divinely Designed. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. And if you aren't subscribed, click on that subscribe button. Why don't you? Okay, thanks everyone. Talk to you all later.